Hello students, so in today's session we are going to learn the quantum numbers. Okay, the behavior of an electron in an atom is described mathematically by a wave function or orbital. So quantum mechanics tells us that three quantum numbers are required to distinguish atomic orbitals. They are nothing but principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number and magnetic quantum number. So this quantum number describes the energy level of an orbital and define the shape and orientation of the region in space where the electron will be found. And the fourth one is spin quantum number. Okay, is needed to specify the direction of spin, means in which way the electron is moving, in a clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. So these are the four quantum numbers: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number and spin quantum number. So these are required to know how the electron behave in an orbital. So one by one we see in detail. So principal quantum number was given by, or it is introduced by Niels Bohr to explain spectrum, okay, to explain line spectrum, and it is denoted by letter N. So we are going to see the first principal quantum number. So what about principal quantum number? It was given by Niels Bohr. It reveals the size of an atom. Okay, so how the size of an atom will be there? It reveals that. So look at here, this one. Next, when there is an increase in the value of n, so n equal to, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. When there is an increase in the value of n, the distance between the nucleus, okay, the distance between the nucleus and the orbit also increases. If number of shells increases, the distance between the nucleus and outermost shell increases. Yes, so it is denoted by letter n. It is denoted by letter n, and it can be any single integer value. That means it may be 1, 2, 3, 4, any single integer value, but not 0. Okay, they are also termed as KLMN shells. So here I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4 shells. So they can also be called as KLMN shells. So the maximum number of electrons that can be present in an orbit. So how many number of electrons can be present in a single orbit can be given by a formula 2n square. Okay, by a formula 2n square. So how it is useful in giving number of electrons in an orbit, we will see now. So where n equal to 1, so here this is n value. When n equal to 1, the shell will be k. So what I said, number of electrons, so 2n square. So here 2 into, what is n? Here n is 1. Yes. So 2 into 1 square equal to 2 electrons. That means in K shell, how many electrons will be present, children? Only 2 electrons. Next one is second shell. So when n equal to 2, the shell name is L. So here 2 into 2 square. That means 2 into 4 equal to 8 electrons. That means in L shell, 8 electrons can be present. And next one is M shell. Third one. Okay, n equal to 3, M shell. So 2 into 3 square. That is 2 into 9. That is 18 electrons can accommodate in third orbit. Clear, children? And next one is fourth one. Fourth, when n equal to 4, the shell name is N. So 2 into 4 square, that is 2 into 16 equal to 32 electrons. So in M shell, we are going to get 32 electrons. 2, 8, 18, 32. So this is how the principal quantum number describes about the size of an atom. So what are its main energy levels, what are the names given, and how many electrons can be accommodated in each and every shell. Next one is azimuthal quantum number, which was introduced by Sommerfeld. So here it is also known as angular momentum quantum numbers. Okay, it is also known as angular momentum quantum numbers. It was introduced by Sommerfeld to explain the fine structure of spectral lights, and it is denoted by letter L. Okay, the values of L are 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on until n minus 1, isn't it? So which will be represented as SPDF blocks. That means subshells. When L equal to 0, the shell will be, the subshell will be S. When 1, it will be P. When it is 2, it will be D. When it is 3, it will be F. Okay, azimuthal quantum number shows that main shells are made up of subshells or sub-levels. So in before principal quantum number, he has given number of shells, isn't it? That main energy levels. So that also contains some subshells. So it was given by azimuthal quantum number. That means Sommerfeld told that Azimuthal quantum number shows that main shells are made up of subshells or sublevels. So it is related to the shape of the orbital. That means it gives the shape of an orbital. So here we are going to see now subshell SPDF blocks. When L value equal to 0, the shape of an orbit is spherical. When P, that means when L equal to 1, it is P, it will be dumbbell, okay, dumbbell shape. Next, when D equal to 2, means L equal to 2, it will be D, it will be double dumbbell shape. When L equal to 3, it is F subshell, and what is the shape, children? 4-folded dumbbell shaped. Understand? So now we are going to compare now principal quantum number with azimuthal quantum number. Okay, we are going to take now n. So look at here. When n equal to 1, L will be 0, isn't it? That means symbol is S. We are using symbol is S. That means the number of subshells are 1s. Next, when n equal to 2, that means 0 and 1. L equal to 0 and 1. That means 0 means S, 1 means P. S. So S means this is second number, no, second orbit. So that is why the subshell is 2s, 2p. Understand, children? Next comes to when n equal to 3. That means 3 subshells it should have. L equal to 0, 1, 2. That means S, P, D. Okay, it is third subshell. That is why we should write 3 here. Number of subshells. 3s, 3p, 3d. When n equal to 4, L equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. That means SPDF. Okay, SPDF blocks. Now, sorry, SPDF subshells, and number of subshells are 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f. So this is how we related principal quantum number with azimuthal quantum number. So in this way the subshells will be divided, and this the number of electrons can be accommodated. How many number of electrons can be accommodated, we already know that. Yes, children. Next comes to magnetic quantum number, which was given by Landy. It shows the orientation of the orbitals. Okay, it shows the orientation of the orbitals. So P orbital has 3 orientations, that is along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and it is denoted by letter M, or you can also write ML. Yes, magnetic quantum number is denoted by letter M or ML. So the values of M ranges from minus L to minus L and plus L. So including 0, that means minus L, 0, plus L. Okay, including 0, and the total number of value should be equal to 2L plus 1. So we are going to see now magnetic quantum number. So here L subshell, M equal to minus L to plus L. Okay, and a number of orbitals. So look at here. Here L value 0 I have taken. Subshell L means 0 means it will be S. Here M value plus L to plus minus L to plus L I said. That means 0. For 0 nothing. Okay, number of orbitals 2 into L plus 1. So this is a formula 2 into L plus 1. That is 2 into L value is here 0 plus 1. Okay, 2 zeros are 0 plus 1. Only 1. Okay, number of orbitals in S subshell is 1. Next comes to when L equal to 1, the subshell will be P. That means minus 1 to plus 1. Minus 1 to plus 1 means minus 1, 0, plus 1. Right, children? So here L value what we have taken? 1. So 2L plus 1. So 2 into 1 plus 1. 2 1s are 2 plus 1 3. So P orbital contains 3. P subshell contains number of orbitals is 3. 3 P orbitals will be there. Next, when D subshell D, L value will be 0. Sorry, L value will be 2, isn't it? So minus 2 to plus 2. Minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. So here what the value we have taken for L? We have taken value is 2. So 2 into 2 plus 1. 2 2s are 4 plus 1 equal to 5. So D subshell contains 5 orbitals. Next comes to when L equal to 3, the subshell will be F. That is minus 3 to plus 3. Minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. So total, okay, 2 into L plus 1. Here L value is 3. So 2 3s are 6 plus 1 7. 7. So F subshell contains the number of orbitals is 7. So this is about magnetic quantum number. Next comes to spin quantum number, which was given by Uhlenbeck and Goudsmit, and it is denoted by letter S or ms. Okay, it explains the spin of an electron in its axis. That means when it moves in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, it shows that. So it explains the spin of an electron in its axis. It has two values, that is minus half and plus half. If the electron spins clockwise, okay, in clockwise direction, then its value will be plus half. If the electron spins in anti-clockwise direction, then its value becomes minus half. So look at here, children. Here I have taken n, l, m, s and number of orbitals. Yes, when n equal to 1, l equal to 0, that means s subshell, no? Yes, when m equal to and m equal to 0, so that means it will be having two values, that is plus half and minus half. And how many orbitals, number of orbitals will be 1s. 1s means how many electrons it can accommodate? It can accommodate 2 electrons. Okay, it can accommodate 2 electrons. Next comes to when n equal to 2, l equal to 0, 1. 0 means s subshell and 1 means p subshell. S means 2 will be there. So m equal to 0. Okay, the values will be plus half, minus half. That is a 2s. That means it can accommodate 2 electrons in second orbit. And next 1p. 1p means 3 subshells will be there. Okay, minus 1, 0, plus 1. Did you remember this, children? Here we have taken m values, no? Yes. So that only minus 1, 0, plus 1. Minus is 1, again it is having plus half, minus half. 0 is again having plus half, minus half. Plus 1 is having plus half, minus half. That means 2p. 2p, so how many electrons it can accommodate? 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons it can be present. So in second orbit, and in s orbit, in s subshell it have 2 electrons, and p subshell it is having 6 electrons. So how many total electrons? 8. So in second orbit we are having 8 electrons. In first orbit, in KLMN shells we already learned, in k orbit 2 electrons will be present. In second orbit 8 electrons will be present. That only we are giving here. Next comes to when n equal to 3, third orbit, l equal to 0, 1, 2, right? Yes, when m value will be for 0, 0, for 1, minus 1, 0, plus 1, and for second orbit, second subshell, it will be minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, isn't it? And for everything it will be having for 0, plus half, minus half, and for minus 1, 0 and plus 1 also it is having plus half, minus half. And here 2D also minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2 also having plus half, minus half for each and everything. So here for 3s how many electrons it can be have? 2. The number of electrons it can accommodate is 2. And for p is 6. And for d it is 10. So total 10 will be there. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So in third orbit 2 plus 6 plus 10. Total 18 number of electrons can accommodate in a third orbit. Now understand, children? So here the spin quantum number is the independent of other quantum numbers. It is the only quantum number that has non-integral values. Non-integral values means plus half, minus half we are having. Till now we are having only direct values 1 and 2, isn't it? So and it is important to note that the difference between any two successive values, okay, of any quantum number is unity. Understand, children? So this is how we arrange the electrons in an orbitals. So in today's class we have learned what we have learned. We have learned quantum numbers. In quantum numbers we have seen 4 types: principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, magnetic quantum number, and spin quantum number. And who discovered principal quantum number? Niels Bohr. Azimuthal quantum number Sommerfeld, magnetic quantum number Landy, and spin quantum number was Goudsmit and Uhlenbeck, isn't it? And it is denoted by letter N, it is L, it is M, and it is S. So this is how it is useful in learning how many electrons can accommodate in each and every orbit and its subshell. Okay, thank you, children.